endurance?
We say
Hanging in there.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. What that mean? What does that look like?
Long lasting.
We long lasting. We don't like that one, do we? What else?
The ability to continue in spite of self.
Wow, you got deep, didn't you? The ability to continue in spite of self. We kind of talked about that the other day in class when we talked about when I make a commitment, every now and then I got to go back in my weak moments to the commitment that I made. He says a commitment is a plea made in advance to say I'm going to do something. You know what that says? I'm going to do it no matter how hard it gets, no matter how hard or how I start to feel, in spite of me, the commitment that I made. That's why in Proverbs he says that we have to be careful of the rash vows that we make before God. You know, if you just get me out of this one. We don't mean that. We just really telling him, you know, just take the pain away so I can go back to doing what I was doing anyway. Hoping it's going to be different this time. But along this road, it's going to take some endurance. And if you don't have it in you, you're in trouble. You're going to give up. You're going to quit. As soon as it gets hard, you're going to quit. Here he says in the Just for Today, he says, our newfound faith serves as a firm foundation for courage in the future. He says Narcotics Anonymous is no place for the faint of heart. Al-Anon ain't no place for the faint of heart either. It's probably worse on y'all than it is us, ain't it? Huh? Because y'all trying to figure out, I'm doing everything, I'm doing this. Why they don't get it? You need just as much endurance and courage as we do. I don't know how y'all do it. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know. I do not know. Sister, you may need to go. Seriously, I don't know if I can do that one. I commend y'all. He says, facing life on life terms without the use of drugs isn't always easy. Recovery requires more than hard work. Wow. It requires a liberal dose of courage. The courage is what keeps me going. Every day I wake up with some newfound courage, no matter how hard it is, to say, you know what? I got to keep going. Because the moment I give up, what? I'm using. And so courage keeps me going. He said that newfound, that courage for the future. He says, what is courage anyway? He says a quick look at a dictionary would tell us we have courage when we face and deal with anything that we think of as difficult, dangerous, painful, rather than withdrawing from. That ain't us. Because anything that is too difficult, anything that is with any opposition, I'm quitting. And along this road, they're saying you cannot quit because every day you're going to be faced with some kind of opposition. Y'all not? Even with, if it's the thoughts to use, the obsession to use. The thought of, you know what, man, I got to do this thing and I can't get high today. I got to go through these feelings because that's what we get. We suffer from a feeling disease. I get high because I want to change the way I feel. That's crazy, ain't it? That's good or bad. It can be a good day. Hey, y'all only got high in certain weathers and seasons.
Every day.
I like to meet one of them. Because if it was raining outside, you know what I say? It's a good day to get high. If it was snowing outside, oh, it's a good day to get high. Every day was mom looking like, boy. For real. Courage. He says the ability, rather, to face anything that is difficult, dangerous, or painful. Wow. That's life, ain't it? And that's something that we're not used to, is dealing with life on life terms. That takes some endurance, because what I found out is that everything, Tom, is not going to go my way. That threw me off. Because I was accustomed to getting what I wanted when I wanted, delayed gratification, that didn't even enter my mind. So he says, courage means being brave, having a purpose, having spirit. So what is courage really? Courage is an attitude. See, I wake up even when I'm feeling bad with an attitude that this day is going to get better. You follow me? Because if we stay in that attitude too long, I'm high. I done made a bad decision. You ever stay in something too long and the attitude was bad and you end up making a bad decision and that bad decision just starts a downhill effect and you got to go back and look, and it all started with an attitude that I had that I did not change. He says my attitude determines how quick I recover. Think about it. When something happened, good or bad, and you stayed in your pity potty or you stayed in your thinking, stinking thinking, and you know the thing just dragged on and dragged on. But the minute my attitude changed, and you know what, I looked at it from a different perspective. You know what, things get a little better. So he said that's what an addict in recovery really needs is perseverance. We make that commitment to stick with our program to avoid using no matter what happens. A courageous addict is one who doesn't use one day at a time, no matter what. Y'all got to get that no matter what in your head. That means mama died, the dog died, the house burned down, no matter what, I must not use. That's deep, ain't it? You better get one. He says, and what gives us courage? Our relationship with the higher power gives us the strength and the courage to stay clean. We know so that as long as we are in God's care, we have the power we need to face life on life terms. And this is what we see throughout Scripture, though. Here he says the power to endure, looking at Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, starting around verse 7, Paul is inflicted with what? A thorn in the side. He's inflicted with a handicap. This thorn has handicapped him, hasn't it? A handicap is what? When people have handicaps, what do these handicaps do? Huh?
Disadvantage.
It's a disadvantage? A disability?
A hindrance.
A hindrance. I like that one. It becomes a hindrance. Check this out. We only think of handicaps as being something bad, though. But a handicap in the sense that he's